Sounds like we quite literally have a few layers today. The smoke,
yes,
and some clouds now.
Yeah, we got a lot going on there. It's a little bit nicer over in northern Maine. It's pretty cool most everywhere, but if you want to feel better about it, we show you those pictures from New York City.
Oh my gosh.
It's a real situation. And actually, I noticed on Twitter there was a lot of really crazy ones. Of course, you have to go through the process of vetting them. They seem certainly possible based on the rainfall amounts. So look at all that heavy stuff just sliding on the outside of this ridge. And I'll tell you what, these are big rainfall amounts down in the south, but already I think the models haven't done a great job with the northern extent of it, in that most of them had it cut off right about here towards Manchester, and that hasn't been the case. I did hear that it is not actually hitting the ground in Kennebunk, so appreciate that. That was actually one of our employees, but doesn't matter. Either way, we'll take what we can get as far as information there. And so this seems like it's getting eaten up by dry air, but it's obviously quite tenuous, and a couple of showers could work their way into York County through today and tonight. Widen the picture out, look at the satellite. There's smoke over the top of all of this, then quite a bit of mid to low level clouds up to about Portland, stretching around into the mountains too. So a really complicated atmospheric scene out there, but for most people we're not seeing a lot of straight sunshine, and that's keeping temperatures down into the 60s, even some 50s when you look over western Maine and into New Hampshire, and then a little bit more sun here, but it doesn't really seem to be impacting temperatures all that much. We're still in the low 60s, so we're going to struggle to get out of the 60s today, obviously, as that cloud cover continues. Now the model's trying to figure out exactly where the edge of that rain shower activity is. I do think, based on the radar right now, it'd be kind of crazy to say there isn't a chance for a shower over York and Cumberland County maybe later today, because eventually that dry air will get saturated and erode. And it's trying to do that again tonight, so a quick sprinkle is a possibility. None of this is heavy or a big deal. Most of us are just cloudy into the 50s. And this particular model's a little bearish on sun tomorrow morning. I think along the coast we'll be fighting through the middle of the day, and then we'll clear out in the afternoon, but that will keep temperatures down there too. And then finally we get into what we were promised here on Sunday, which is a lot of sunshine and temperatures into the mid 70s. So you can see how that rain to the south versus this high, it has been a little bit more complicated over southern Maine. This is the general picture. And eventually, once this low rotates out of here, which happens really Saturday morning, once this low gets out of the picture, there's nothing to talk about. It's this high dominating, and it's easily protecting us from systems to our west. It just had a problem with one to the south, so we're going to rip off several really nice days. Basically, all of next week looks good to me. It's just little iterations in temperature, slight sky cover changes, but generally sunny. And so there's that low. You can see try to poke into that high just a little bit by late tonight, early tomorrow morning, but then it spins away and that high takes over, and you can just watch the days go by here without a whole lot going on. This is next Thursday. The high is still here. So maybe next Friday night would be our next chance of legitimate rain. So we've got quite a while to go. And in between, we're going to try to build those temperatures up. Just to drive home what's going on to our south, though, quickly, this is what global models have for additional rainfall. So 5 or 6 inches plus 2 or 3 more. Not great. All right, so this is a look at the temperature trend. Again, we've got a shot at 80 Tuesday and Wednesday. I think both of those days have a chance. Will you care if you're 78? Probably not. It's interesting because the synoptic scale stuff, like the large scale stuff, says to me that we'll be warmer than 80 on Tuesday and Wednesday, but then I have to account for, we've been getting wildfire smoke out of nowhere. So drop a few degrees there. I think 80 is about the right place to be at. But we'll be right on that line between warm and a bit hottish.
Yes, it will be right on the edge.
I like it.
It's only 2 days.
Yeah, and it's October. So
we're back to where we should be.
Yeah.
All right, Keith, thank you.